Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Authors to Know and Their Books to Read. I'm your host, Martinique Brown, and I'm so excited that you have decided to tune in to the show today. I have author Tracé Wilkins Francis, and she has written a book series called The Real Life Adventures of JoJo Bean. And like I said, it's a book series, y'all. Tracé, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank
You
you for having me.
You are welcome. You are welcome. So if this is you guys' ever first time tuning into the show, thank you so much again for watching the show. Make sure you go ahead and share this video now so that people will not only know about Tracé, but they'll know about JoJo. JoJo Bean.
JoJo Bean.
JoJo Bean. And make sure you also follow us on our YouTube channel. And one great thing that I do for you all is I just take all the work out of it. So if you're interested in purchasing any of Tracé's books, her website is listed in the description box, as well as all of her ways that you can connect with her on social media is all listed in the description box. If you truly enjoy these shows that I create, I would love for you to go to my GoFundMe page and give a financial gift of any amount. It will be such a blessing to me as well. Also, another thing that I would love for you to do, because Tracé is an author, that means she is constantly being creative and writing more and more books. So what we would love for you to do is go to her Facebook page. Make sure that you like and follow her Facebook pages so that you will always be notified when she has new posts and things like that. So, Tracé, can you just let our viewers know just a little bit more about yourself?
Yes, well, I am a mom of one, Joseph, aka JoJo Bean. I live in Long Island. I actually was a dance studio owner for 12, 13 years.
Oh, wow.
I have a dance background as well, too. I closed the studio because Joseph was about 3 at the time, so I wanted to devote more time to being a mom.
Okay.
I also am the co-producer of a lot of my husband's projects, who's also a writer. He writes films and movies, and he did a lot of the storyboards for the JoJo Bean videos, and he wrote all the music for the JoJo Bean books as well.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes, so, a family affair. It's a family affair.
So now, how old is Joseph, your son?
Joseph is 9.5.
Okay. So when did he actually realize that these books were about him? Like, how old do you think he was?
He, let's see, I read it when he was 4. I think it hit him because the books came out when he was 4. So when he was in pre-K, they used to talk about it all the time, but it didn't really hit him until he was in kindergarten. And everybody was like, JoJo Bean! So now it really hit him. And he actually has his own book that he creates. He said he wants to be famous. He wants to be famous too.
Come on, Joseph. That's what I'm talking about. So what made you even interested in writing children's books?
Well, I always had a passion for writing. When I was younger, probably about Joseph's age, one of my childhood and dear friends, her and myself, we would go to my house or go to her house, and we would sit there and we would write books, and we would tie little red strings around the paper and make up our own books. And so fast forward to years later, that passion never left me. It never left her as well. She's a writer too. She writes Christian books, but that passion never left me. And when I closed the studio, I knew that I still wanted to do something involving children, but I didn't want to necessarily teach anymore. Okay. So this was the perfect fit.
So your studio, you also taught kids there?
Yes, I taught dance.
Oh, okay, okay. So now we know that JoJo Bean is one of the main characters.
Yes.
In the book. Do you have any other main characters in the books?
Well, he is the main character. Okay. But JoJo Bean has 2 friends, Worry Wendell, who worries all the time. Okay, and Twisty Tina, who's just like a quirky, intelligent, fun-loving child. So those are his 2 friends. And in some of the other books, you'll see his grandfather in the book. You'll see his father in the upcoming book, The Christmas Coat. You'll see his mom. You'll see other people as well too. But those are the three characters that you will see in most of the series. A couple of them, they're not in it because it just focuses on Joseph and one of his parents, or Joseph and his granddad, or Joseph and his mom.
Okay. So what inspires you to write another book in your series?
I always had a pre-plan to write at least 5.
Okay.
So it's just, I think there's a lot of stories, funny stories that we have, because my inspiration comes from Joseph. They're all, he inspired the book series. So many funny stories with Joseph growing up and little things that he would do. So that's one of the inspiration. The other inspiration, when Joseph probably was about 5 or 6 months, I would always read to him.
Okay.
That's my passion, reading, and the importance of reading and literacy and early literacy. As he got older and was able to choose his own books, I noticed that there was a lack of children who looked like him on the cover.
Okay.
So I created this whole book series because I wanted him to see himself on the cover and be proud of who he is, and also realize that the same issues or the same things that children go through, like not eating your vegetables. I want a birthday every day. It's a normal thing, but I wanted him to see himself going through that. Other children see that this is normal. Yes, you go through this too. We're all the same, basically.
So now I'm actually kind of surprised that you didn't go the route of becoming an educator.
I know.
You're like, Martinique, you don't even know me like that, girl.
I know, it's true. I guess that's why I taught dance. When I was in high school, I actually wanted to be a journalist.
Okay.
So that's kind of like in writing, a little different. But I changed my mind, and I don't even remember why, but I ended up studying economics.
Okay. Oh, that was such a hard class for me.
That's
God.
hard.
It is.
I studied economics and then graduate school. I pursued my master's in public administration. Spent 15 years of my day job doing financial work and things like that. And I got tired of it, left the city, and I think it was my mom who told me, oh, there's an opening in the school district in our town. So I ended up actually in the school district, not as an educator, but as a support staff.
Okay, I understand. So now, was it intentional in making the other characters not Black?
Yes, because it represents my son's friends. My son's friends come from so many different backgrounds, so many different races, so many different cultures. So I wanted to be an accurate depiction of him and his friends. So
is Twisty Tina and I want to say Worry Window?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So are they real kids?
They are based on real children, yeah.
So have you reveal who? Yeah. Oh, so have you ever told them that you have put them in the books?
No, because it's like a combination of several of his friends.
Oh, okay.
So Twisty Tina is a combination of a couple of the friends. Worry Window's a combination of a couple of his friends. So yeah.
That is so cute.
Yeah, Joseph is my husband too, but Joseph is very involved. I mean, even today, we came from swim practice and he came in. He's like, Mommy, you're going live. What are you doing? So I told him, he's like, oh, let me see the setup. Oh, okay, this is nice. Are you going to talk about my book? Yes, Joseph, we're going to talk about your book too.
So now what will children actually, because there's 5 books in the series.
Right.
So can we talk about those books and what children will learn from each book?
Okay. I'll name the 5 books in the series first. There's
Okay.
Birthday Bubbles. There's Delectable Vegetables. There's Safety First. There's Park Blues, and the Christmas Coat will be out the end of October, beginning of November.
Okay.
So of course, each one has a different topic.
Mm-hmm.
They really center around even safety first. For example, safety first is all about water safety because our son is a big avid swimmer. He's on the swim team and all that stuff. He loves the water. He
Okay.
can't really get out the water. So I decided to do this book about safety first. So in addition to that being about water safety, it also teaches all the books really focus on character development. So
Okay.
honesty, integrity, respect, making wise decisions, learning the consequences from your mistakes, compassion, honesty, all those traits that we want our children to have. The books teach those lessons in a fun and relatable way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that that's really good. That the books are actually written with some type of purpose of
Yes,
building the character
right,
within the child.
right. I was gonna say because Jojo being the character in the book, he is he has a how can I say he has a vivid imagination. He's very creative. He means well, but a lot of times he just doesn't necessarily make the right choices because he just gets so excited about life. And so
Mm-hmm.
he learns from his friends, from his mistakes, how to make the right choices.
Okay. Okay. So now, what age range are your books?
The books have actually been lexiled in the school system for grades kindergarten through second. So that's 5 through 8. However, I've had parents who have young babies as young as 7 months to buy it. I have parents who had pre-K students to buy it. I've had a parent and a child as old as 11 to buy it because they just love JoJo Bean. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say a good range actually would be between the ages of 4 and 9.
Okay, okay, 4 and 9. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's really good that it is a pretty wide age range because
Yes,
the books can grow with the
right,
child.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
good. That's good. So why did you actually decide to write a spin-off of
Twisty
the female character Twisty Tina Tales?
Tina, I had to give her her own own series. So another thing that I do along with my husband, sometimes our son comes, depending on his schedule, is we go and we do author visits. We
Mm-hmm.
go to schools, we go to different events. Every time we would go on a visit with the mascots, because I have all 3, the little girls would gravitate towards Twisty Tina. I mean, they love JoJo Bean, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but I look over and there's a flock of little girls just
Uh-huh.
hovering around Twisty Tina. And I said, I have got to do a book series to represent the girls.
Mm-hmm. I
So
think
she
that
kind
is.
of created a character, she created this life from the book all on her own. It just grew.
And you know what? When I was writing up your questions, I was
Hmm.
thinking about how sitcoms do spin-offs.
Yes,
And
yes,
so like we had the blackish, now they got the mixish, and then
right,
got the
right.
grownish, and but I think it's amazing that you actually have mascots. Why did you want to actually create mascots for them?
This, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. This
Uh-huh.
was my husband's idea. He's like the mastermind of marketing because
Uh-huh.
when he first told me, I thought he was crazy. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, trust me, it's gonna work. We gotta go. We can bring the kids in.
Uh-huh.
And then when we actually did it, I said, you know what? You're right. So
Mm-hmm.
that was all my husband's idea to promote the book more for the kids to actually see the characters
Yeah.
and feel the characters and have fun with the characters.
I feel like you have really just taken it to a whole nother level. I'm serious.
We always do. That's the Francis family motto. We take things to another level.
I think that's amazing. That
Thank
is so
you.
good.
Thank you.
Um, So I know that you actually mentioned that your son has written a book. Can
Yes.
you just tell us the name of his book and what his book is about?
I have it right here. The Adventures of Rock.
Mhm.
And it is about Tim, who was a 9-year-old boy.
Okay.
This is going to be a book series as well, too. What
Okay.
happens is one day Tim realizes that his parents are missing, and he figures out that it's his enemy, Fireball. So he goes to find them with his pet cat, Ash. But
Okay.
secretly, his parents or no one realizes that Tim is a, let me get it right, crime fighting rock and roll superhero.
Wow. He's talented.
He is, and he did the drawings himself. This book originated when he was 5, because he would draw. He loves to draw also. So
Okay.
he had all these little flashcards. We have them taped in his playroom of this whole scenario, this whole city. And he has the flashcards, almost like the Pokemon cards,
Uh-huh.
of all these different characters. And I asked him what he was doing. He's like,
Mhm.
I'm going to create a book just like you. I said, okay, Joseph, I tell you what, if you finish it, mommy will get it published for you.
Mhm.
So a few years fast forwarding it later, he's drawing more characters, and I reminded him, and he's like, okay. And he finished it, and I published it
Wow.
for him.
That's excellent. So when was it actually published?
It was published, I want to say this year. It was January or February of this year.
Okay. So now what does the rock represent?
You mean in terms of,
The book.
oh,
Because it's
Rock is
yeah.
the boy.
Oh, so his name is
His no,
Rock.
I'm sorry, yeah, I should have made that clear. Yes, his name is Rock. That's his superhero name. So kind of like Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So it's Tim and Rock.
Got you. That is so cute. That is so cute. And
Yes.
and your son is 9.
Yes.
Okay.
He's always been creative, and he's the kid. He still has, even at his age, these Imaginic toys, those one with the big cities and stuff, and he will put them all together and make this whole scenario in his head like it's a movie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
His mind just
Just
is
goes.
always going, always creating something.
I wonder if I want to call him the Rock, but I wonder if Tim and JoJo Bean and his friends are ever going to meet.
You
Don't
know what?
don't tell us.
Let me write that down. Oh my
I'll charge you later. I'll send you the
God.
invoice later. So I wanted to ask you,
Uh-huh.
with so many children books that's
Mm-hmm.
out there, why should
Mm-hmm.
parents even consider, purchasing your book series, The Real Life Adventures of JoJo Bean,
Mm-hmm.
or even consider your son's book? Because
Mm-hmm.
there's just so many books out here nowadays.
There is. Well, the books, they're colorful. They teach a lesson in a relatable, fun way. And not only that, it's reinforced those lessons through the music that are associated with the books. It's reinforced also through the videos, because we do videos online. It's different episodes with the
Mm,
characters. So it's all those lessons that you want to teach your kids, and sometimes you over and over again, like, how can I get this through your head? All that is reinforced through the music and through the videos. And I don't know, and I could be wrong, I don't know any children's books that does that.
okay. And so the videos that you're
Mm-hmm.
referring to,
Yes.
people can actually watch those on your YouTube channel?
Yes. JoJo Bean Adventures.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now, you all, I actually put um, Tracy's YouTube channel in the description box. So make sure that you visit and subscribe to her YouTube channel. Why did you even want to, incorporate videos and music and things like that? Like, why wouldn't you just leave it as, okay, I'm writing a book and then that's it?
we can't do it that way.
I got you. It's not the
Francis
Francis
family
way.
model. That's right. It's the Francis family model. We are just, I don't want to say extra. We always take things to another
That's
level
good.
to be ahead, to be more creative, to be above 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 what everyone else is doing, not in terms of, you know, attitude, but
Yeah.
you know, if somebody's just going to write a book, no, we're not going to write a book, we're going to do something more, because that's the way to get the message across.
I understand.
And
you know
because our background, I'm sorry,
no, go
because
ahead.
our background is in music and in dance and in performing, it's just a natural flow.
I understand. And I also think about those kids that learn differently. So,
Yes, yes,
so some kids, they don't mind reading. And
right,
then you have some kids that just want to watch it and they
yes,
learn, visually like
right,
that.
right, so true, so true, so many different ways kids learn. So then the music and the videos and the books kind of touches on all those different ways of learning as well.
So with the videos though, are
Mm.
you actually discussing like each book? Is that how the
Well, we
videos
put up
work?
the episodes, and then at the end it's just a, you know, a clip of the book itself. We haven't incorporated discussions with that, but that is actually coming soon, because something else we're going to do reading time. So that would incorporate my book series. It will incorporate other book series, and we're going to have like a discussion at the you know, at the end once we read the books.
You know what I was thinking about? You should do them. You should do them live, so
Yes, that's
kids
what we're
can.
actually going to do. Yes, we're going to do. We're planning on doing it live.
That's good. Oh,
Yes,
that's gonna be.
definitely.
That is so good. I'm serious. Like, so kids can interact and ask
Yes.
questions
Mm-hmm.
once their parents
Definitely.
approve.
Right. That's in the works. Once the final, I don't want to say final, but once the fifth book is done,
Uh-huh.
that is in the works for next year, 2020.
So I know that you actually had a goal of writing 5 books in the series.
Mm-hmm.
You don't mind growing that series, right?
Oh, absolutely not. In fact,
Okay.
my cousin was like, "Oh, you should do one about bus safety because he's a bus driver." I'm like, you know what? That's a good
That's
idea.
cute.
That's a good idea.
But you know what? I bet you get so many recommendations. You like, all right, yeah, let's write this down.
I do, but I keep them in my head. I write them down because you never know. You never know. And a lot of them are great ideas. So
That's true. That's true. So now I know that you actually talked to us a little bit about your author visits. Where do you actually go for your author visits?
we've been to schools. We've been to, they have different fairs and festivals, daycares, different events going on around the island. We've been as far as we've been to Baltimore, Brooklyn, around here. I'm trying to think where else. I might be missing a couple places, but.
So that's good. So you all, if you're an event coordinator or if you work at a library and you're interested in having Tracé and JoJo Bean and his friends come to your event, make sure you visit Tracé's website, and it's listed in the description box. I really love that you do the author visits, for the kids.
Right.
Can you tell the viewers about the After School Adventures program that you actually host at Trinity Lutheran Church?
Yes. So in conjunction with Mind Design Studios, which is a nonprofit organization my friend has, my publishing company, Anagene Publishing, and Mind Design Studios has created, or Mind Design Studios created, After School Adventures. It's a program out of Trinity Lutheran Church in Wyandanch, and it is STEM-based or STEAM-based, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, but it takes innovative technology and incorporates it into those subjects, as well as the reading and writing portion, which is what I do. So for the STEAM right now, they're working on learning how to program robots. The reading and writing section right now, what I'm doing with the kids is we have plans to create our own newspaper. They're all going to get topics that they will write about. We'll do some research with it as well. We'll design it on the computer, and once it's all nicely designed, we're going to take segments of it and we're going to videotape it like it's a newscast.
That's going to be so
that's
cute.
The project for the reading portion. And then the robotics portion, like I said, they're going to be they're also going to be designing their own not only their own robots but their own toys. So they're going to come up with this whole toy design, and there's going to be writing involved with that, and they're going to design it. I'm not sure if they're going to design Legos and robots, but they're going to design it, and then we're going to have a night that the parents can come in and the children will present what they've done.
And what city is this again?
This is in Wyandanch, New York.
Okay. Wyandanch.
Yes, Wyandanch. It's in Long Island. But we also we also would love to have the neighboring town. So if you happen to live in Deer Park or North Babylon, it doesn't matter as long as you can get to Trinity Church.
Okay, I understand. And so what time and day do you actually have this after school program?
It's Tuesdays through Thursday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 to 6. They start off with doing their homework. So there's homework help available. And then once that's done, which is usually about an hour later, they break out into groups. And it's for kindergarten through 5th grade.
Okay. So now, is there a cost associated with this?
There is. It's $50 a month. Or if you pay in advance, then it's $40 a month.
Okay.
With a $25 registration fee.
So I want to just turn the gears a little bit because you actually started the Unplug Technology campaign.
Unplug, I know you see it. That's the bracelet.
Can you let our viewers know a little bit more about that?
Yes. Okay. So we all know, and we're all guilty of being on our phones, the tablet, a lot. I'm gonna say a lot, but at some point, sometimes we get obsessed with it. Yeah. One day, I think it was at lunch, my husband Joseph and I were sitting down about to eat lunch, and I said, "Guys, you know what? Let's just turn off the TV." Put the phones away, put the the switch away and all that, and let's have a conversation with each other. I was like, okay, mommy. So we sat down with no distractions, which is
was kind of weird.
No distractions at all. And we had such a great conversation. And my son said, "Mommy, I actually like this." So I said, you know what? Let's do this more often. Let's incorporate that a little more often. Let's do, and I know a lot of families do that, but let's try to be more conscious and do it more often than not. Let's sit down and have the conversation without all the distractions. Let's do a game night or what have you. And Joseph said, okay. And I think I don't know if it was later on that day, but maybe the next day we went out and we went to Scholastic's warehouse and we bought all these books. To read as a part of that.
So now, do you do this like maybe every Tuesday, or how does this work?
We actually, Joseph is not allowed to watch TV or play on the tablet or anything during school nights. I want to say Friday we let him play a little bit. Saturday, well, this past Saturday he did, but usually, no, it's Monday through Friday. Saturday he has limited time, and Sunday he has very limited time. Usually Friday night we try to do something together. Saturday is just crazy because he has a lot going on. and Sunday he usually has a play day. So they'll actually, and they're good too. Him and his best friend, they'll go outside and throw the football around and stuff like that. So
it's good. So I know that the very first time that you said that you did this, it was a good reaction.
It was
from your son. Were you surprised at that?
I'm gonna say yes and no. I wasn't surprised because Joseph is a very sociable child.
Okay.
But just I think the extent of the reaction I was a little surprised about. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. See, it's not so bad to put it away and have a conversation. Because as a society, we've gotten so far away from that. You know, instead of maybe picking up the phone and calling or going over, we're just, let me just text and see. And then when you text, a lot of times things get lost in the translation, and there's not that one-on-one connection there because you have this piece of technology, this cold hard piece of technology in between the two of you or the several of you.
So now you answer this for me, and you let me know if you want to just say, Martinique, please mind your own business. So the question is, do you and your husband also partake in this challenge?
I partake in the challenge. My husband will, when I remind him, like, Mike, let's unplug. He's like, okay. So when I remind him, he'll partake. I do. I'm not a big TV person anyway. I think my biggest thing is the phone because I'm trying to promote and I'm trying to read my emails and I'm trying to do all that. So sometimes I have to turn the ringer off and push it aside and pick up the book and things like that. So I was actually able to get away a couple of weeks ago for my birthday. I went on an Arthur's retreat with a group of wonderful women. And that was wonderful because I didn't have all this, you know, I didn't have the phone, I didn't have the tablet. I actually made a concerted effort and put that stuff away and relaxed and did some writing, and I got a lot done. I was happy.
That's good. So now how do you really challenge other parents to incorporate this into their own household?
It's hard. It is hard. I would say if you could just pick one day, I wouldn't expect anybody to say, I'm not going to, we're not going to use technology for 3 hours every day. I'm not expecting that. If you could just pick one day, even if it's for a half an hour to hour, say, okay, you know what? We're not going to use technology. Or if it's the time that you sit down, and I know a lot of parents are on the go, so it's hard. Maybe that one day that you sit down as a family and have lunch or breakfast or whatever and say, we're not going to, dinner is really great because everybody's coming together at the end. We're not going to bother with the technology. We're going to talk. That would be probably the best start.
And remind us, because I know some people have already tuned it out, but remind us of the benefits of doing this Unplugged Technology Challenge campaign.
You grow closer together. Your mind is free, because I know my mind during the day is so cluttered with everything, and I clutter it even more when I'm looking through my emails, when I'm looking online. Your mind becomes free. You're able to think more. You're able to relax, especially if you put it away before you go to bed. There's studies have shown, and I know that to be true too, that if you look at your technology right before you go to bed, you have a harder time sleeping. And just that closeness and that connection that we need as a family unit, we have to get back to that as a whole, as a society.
Great, that's good. I think people tuned back in. They was like, okay, maybe we'll try.
I know when I tell the kids that when we go someplace, they're like, oh. I said, no, but you can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it. It's fun, actually. Just, because when I was growing up, my husband was growing up, we didn't
have all that
computers
stuff.
didn't come out till what? I was in high school or something like that, late, about to go into college. So, and it was very sparse. So we would actually, when I was Joseph's age, your parents would send you outside
Yep.
and don't come back in until the street light comes on.
Yeah.
So you had to find creative things to do.
Yep. That is
I know
so
it's
true.
also, it's also different too because of safety issues and things like that. But there's still ways that you could send them outside or
That's true.
whatever without risking the safety factor.
That's so true. That's so true. So Tracé, I just really appreciate you being on this show.
You. It was great.
Yes, yes. And I thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Authors to Know and Their Books to Read. Make sure you continue to share this episode so that more people will know about Tracé and about the real life adventures of JoJo Bean, the book series. They will also get to learn about Joseph's debut book as well. Also, make sure that you continuously just visit Tracé's website, and don't forget to like and follow her Facebook page and her Instagram page, and subscribe to her YouTube channel as well, so that you'll always be notified of the different shows and, as you know, her book releases. But when you go to YouTube and you subscribe, make sure that you click on that little bell so that you'll be notified.
Yes.
I know Tracé, people don't know about the bell.
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, I got bells on a lot of stuff.
You have to click that bell that's on the upper right hand side, because when you click on that, you will be notified when Tracé posts new videos of JoJo Bean and his adventures. Tracé, again, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. And I thank you all for tuning in to another episode. I hope you all have a great night, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.